And then with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
What did Ja have to say on this occasion?
Nothing of intelligent depth. It was really just his just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time. And it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. You know, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that. And we need that in the NBA. We need our best players to be out there. And when you're a star, it comes with a great responsibility. And I hate to see that go to waste.
In an NBA season already overflowing with storylines, historic scoring nights, blockbuster trades, and rising rookie sensations, nothing cut through the weekend noise quite like the raw, unfiltered tension between Klay Thompson and Ja Morant.
I had something to say back. And then Ja got in there. I didn't see that the first time. I saw that the first time. And where he comes from, I don't know. You didn't even play tonight. So you should have been in the locker room already.
What was supposed to be just another early season matchup between the Dallas Mavericks and Memphis Grizzlies turned into a volatile grudge match, fueled by years of pettiness, pride, and playoff scars that never fully healed. And when the buzzer sounded on Memphis's 102-96 win, the emotions, long bottled up, long simmering, finally detonated.
10 points at this type of rate. See a little skirmish here. Second night in a row.
Wow, yeah, that's how the game ended last night. 60 rebounds tonight from Memphis, 61 it looks like, plus 20 on the glass.
Ja Morant wasn't even supposed to be part of the headline. He didn't play, he didn't score a point, he didn't grab a rebound, but he sure made his presence felt. Sidelined with a calf strain for the third consecutive game, Morant spent most of the night in a hoodie on the bench until the final buzzer sounded. That's when the Grizzlies star walked straight toward Klay Thompson, who had just missed a potential game-tying three and unleashed a jab that instantly ignited chaos.
Ja Morant and Klay Thompson had to be separated after the game, and the craziest part is that Ja wasn't even playing. Ja was chirping from the sideline all night, and then after the game, he walked right up to Klay Thompson, and they both had to be separated by security. Klay was already heated because earlier in the game, Cooper Flag got tripped by Santi Aldama, who should be suspended for that, by the way. So he went to go defend his rookie, and then the Memphis Grizzlies announcers were like clowning him, saying that he's not an enforcer. Like, bro, he's literally standing up for an 18-year-old kid. And after all that, Klay finally snapped back in his presser.
And then with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
What did Ja have to say on this occasion?
Nothing of intelligent depth. It was really just his just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time. And it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. You know, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that.
I mean, Klay wasn't wrong. He said what we're all thinking. Ja needs to do more playing and less talking.
Tell him who the best shooter in the house was, Morant barked to teammate Cam Spencer, loudly enough for Klay to hear during the post-game court interview. It wasn't bro from Golden State. Klay froze, spun around, and fired back. Security rushed in, coaches scrambled, and suddenly the two were inches away from each other, their words cutting through the arena's post-game rumble. This wasn't just trash talk. This was personal. For many NBA fans, this confrontation felt like deja vu. The tension between Thompson and Morant dates back to the 2022 playoffs, when Klay and the Warriors eliminated Memphis in a heated, trash talk-filled series on their path to a championship. And while the Warriors celebrated, Morant said a lot. Thompson heard every word. Back then, Klay brushed it off as youthful energy, but clearly the receipts were saved, and on Saturday night, they came out. Reporters barely had time to position themselves before Klay launched into a fiery post-game tirade, one of the most brutally honest press conferences of his career. He's a funny guy, Thompson said, shaking his head. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. That was just the warm-up. Klay, tired, sweaty, frustrated after a close loss, and even more frustrated after being mocked by someone not even in uniform, went straight for the jugular. "Nothing of intelligent depth," he said of Morant's taunt, "just running his mouth. He's been running his mouth for a long time. It's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench." The room went dead silent. Thompson wasn't finished. "It's kind of the story of his career so far," he continued, leaving us wanting more. "We all want to see him out there. We need him in the NBA. But he's let a lot get in the way of that." It was an avalanche of professional frustration mixed with something deeper. A sense of disappointment. Thompson, a four-time champion who clawed his way back from two devastating injuries, has always valued discipline, longevity, and accountability. To him, Morant is wasting his gift, and he didn't hide it. Klay's comments hit at a painful truth for Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. Suspended 8 games in 2022 to 2023. Suspended 25 games in 2023 to 2024. Suspended 1 game already this season for challenging head coach Thomas Isalo. And now sidelined again with injuries. Even at just 26, Morant's career feels like a tug-of-war between brilliance and self-inflicted setbacks. This season, his numbers have plummeted. 17.9 PPG on 35.9% shooting and a shocking 16.7% from 3. For a player once considered the future face of the league, it's been a harsh fall. So when Morant chirped from the sideline after a win he didn't play in, Klay heard something different. Noise, distraction, excuses, and he snapped. The confrontation didn't happen out of nowhere. Saturday's matchup was physical from the opening tip, with Memphis leaning heavily into their trademark aggression. Klay confronted Santi Aldama mid-game after Aldama tripped Mavericks rookie Cooper Flagg in the backcourt, an action later upgraded to a flagrant one. Thompson, protective of the 19-year-old phenom, immediately got in Aldama's face. Later, Thompson and Grizzlies wing Vince Williams Jr. exchanged words so heated that both were hit with technicals. By the time the game ended, the pot was already boiling. Morant just lit the match. Thompson said Aldama's trip instantly brought back memories of the 2022 playoff incident where Dylan Brooks' flagrant foul fractured the elbow of Warriors guard Gary Payton II. "That dirty stuff," Klay said. "They've always played like that." He then drew a sharp line between Memphis teams of the past and present. "I respected the old grit and grind teams," Thompson said. "This new group, they talk a lot and never back it up." Again, no filters, no diplomacy, just unedited Klay. In an ironic way, Klay Thompson and Ja Morant need each other right now, though neither would ever admit it. Klay, 35, is fighting to reinvent himself in Dallas after accepting a bench role and struggling to find consistency. This confrontation, this fire, this emotion, it showed he still cares, still competes, still demands respect. Ja Morant, meanwhile, is fighting something bigger, his own reputation. Every suspension, every bench shouting match, every post-game headline chips away at the star he once was. His best shooter in the house insult wasn't just trash talk. It was a reminder to everyone watching that he still wants to be feared, respected, and relevant. Saturday night gave both men that spark again. The Mavericks and Grizzlies don't play again until February 27th, but after Saturday night, that date is already circled in bold red ink. Will Ja be healthy? Will Klay still be coming off the bench? Will Memphis still be chirping? Will Dallas still be fighting to climb the standings? One thing is guaranteed. That rematch will be personal. Very personal. In a league filled with friendly superstars, jersey swaps, mid-season tournaments, and viral TikTok dances, true rivalries, real ones, are rare. But this is authentic tension. This is built on history. This is built on pride. This is built on resentment that didn't magically disappear after one handshake. And honestly, it's good for the NBA. It's good for ratings, good for storylines, good for the fans, good for two stars who need the fire. Saturday night wasn't about a missed shot or a bench player talking trash. It was about two careers crossing at a moment when both players feel like their legacies are being questioned. Klay Thompson, a champion trying to prove he still belongs. Ja Morant, a superstar trying to prove he hasn't lost his way. And in that electric, chaotic moment after the buzzer, those two narratives collided at center court. One thing is certain, this rivalry is far from over.